record button. Hey guys, how are you today? So we got Brunella, Jennifer, Priscilla, Justin, Shane, Eunice, Mike, Linka, Robert, Derek, Alita, Janetta, Angelica, Brianna, Merlin, Charlene, Shirley, and Arnitra. Hey guys, how's everybody? How are you guys today? How are you guys rounding out tax season?
I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Can't wait till Monday.
Yeah, Monday's gonna be interesting. I know a lot of you still have extended due dates, right? Texas, a few other states out there. June 15th, June 17th? For a lot of those other states that had disasters last year. Let me pull up here we go here. Okay. Right. Okay. Anybody else? How's tax season coming? What are you doing after the 17th, guys? What's on the agenda? I'll get a few more people coming in. It's a few more people hopping in right now.
I'm going on vacation.
Where are you gonna go?
I'm going to California.
Okay, which part?
San Bernardino.
Nice.
So like where the mountains are and stuff, there's lakes there too.
Is that north?
Yes.
Northern California? Awesome. Awesome.
So that'll be fun. Just for 3 days. So
yeah. Are you guys gonna do Airbnb?
No, we're staying with family. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yes. Just away, no computers, no. I don't want to see a screen for a while.
Exactly. That's right. A few more people are hopping in. Okay, so let's see here. So got a few coming in. There we go. Hey guys that are hopping in. Robert says beach for a few days. Oh, so wonderful. So wonderful. Anybody else going anywhere after the 17th?
Moving.
No. What are you moving within your state or?
Yeah, like I'm literally surrounded by boxes all over there. I've been trying to move for months, but its inventory is so low in Georgia.
Yeah, I heard. I follow a real estate agent named Ari. I think her name is Ariane or Ariane, and she actually says is tight in Georgia with getting over the ask price. Multiple offer situations. So did you find something?
No, I'm end up finding a townhouse to rent because I'm just like, I'm take either or at this point. So I end up finding a rental. Yeah. I'm like, I'll take it.
Exactly. Well, awesome guys. So let me go ahead and share my screen for you guys so we can go ahead and get started. So one of the things that I want to talk about today was tax season last minute push, as well as really touch base on some sales. I've seen a really great, interesting post in the Facebook group, and I wanted to kind of dedicate a whole discussion around it. So first things first, we all know like tax season, the extended version is coming to a finale on May 17th with, a few other states that haven't even extended filing date to June, such as Texas and a few other states that has suffered certain disasters last year. So what I want to do is just really talk about what I would love for you guys to do, or I'm going to invite you guys to do over the next several days, really just to kind of push that last tax season client acquisition push, right? I remember very vividly every year on April 15th, people would just inundate me with phone calls, with emails. I remember it was literally always one of my busiest days of extensions of filing taxes and so forth. And so I want you guys to try to prepare your clients where you start making those connections now, sending out those emails, sending out text messages, making calls. I want you to reach out to everyone that hasn't came back to you yet as a tax client. So who here actually monitors that? Let's have a quick discussion. Who here is monitoring client retention? If you've already been in business, have you been monitoring client retention? Which means the people that came last year, are they retaining and did they come back this year?
Yes, for me, they are.
Okay, Angelica, perfect. And then what do you feel, Angelica, has been a key, I would say, pillar to your client retention? Do you follow up actively or are your clients just diehards that they just stay with you?
So I am going to say that I do quite a few things. Like, for instance, I send them birthday cards. I do send Christmas cards at the end of the year and just ask them to refer me to some of their family members or friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I do that. And then I'm pretty much attentive. Like if, anything's going on with them, we also check and make sure that they receive their refunds as well.
Okay. So it sounds like you have a very great, client touch point after tax season where you're those holidays and birthday cards. Awesome. That's amazing. So how many clients would you say still haven't came in yet?
I'm going to say maybe about 8 or 10. So not too, yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So awesome. So so what we could do, depending on how those people filed, for sure, this is for everybody, just go ahead and start making those connections with these people now. Today is what's today, guys? Today's the 13th, right? So we have until Monday for them to come in and file their taxes and or request for an extension. So here's what would happen. Like people would come in, even when they were due a refund, they would still come in at the last minute because a lot of people don't know that they do have 3 years to claim their refund. A lot of people think that the filing deadline on April 15th or May 15th, whatever it is, applies to them. So I would still get a lot of people that would come in at the last minute to try to get their taxes filed, whether they had a refund or whether they might have had a tax liability. So what I want you guys to do is look through your phone, look through your email, and not only follow up with people that haven't come in yet to try to either get an extension filed for them if you think that you won't be able to get their tax filing completed by Monday, but to also reach out to people who you haven't already reached out to for tax preparation because they might have already not filed, right? So you still have friends, you have family, you have colleagues, you have people that you know that is in your phone that probably have not filed yet. And I guarantee if you just make the simple outreach to say, hey, uncle, such and such, I'm not sure if you filed your taxes just yet, but the filing deadline is May 17th. And if you need any support, I would love to help you. If you know anyone that still needs support, I would love to help you. Just sending out a simple message like that to your friends, your family can make a huge difference, right? And the amount of money that you make just within the next 7 days. So what questions do you guys have about that? And how are you guys feeling about like this final push? Are you guys ready to just get this final push out, just go real hard over the next 7 days so you can kind of take a break? Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So let's see. Angie says, yes. Hey, Angie. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is sales, right? So I saw a post in the group and one of the clients was just asking, like, how do I reach out? Or I don't like reaching out to people because I don't like to feel salesy. And I don't like when people reach out to me like that, when they reach out to sell a product or a service. And so I thought this would be a great discussion today just to kind of work through some key pillars that I've been able to remind myself of when it comes to selling and when it comes to growing my business, marketing my business, what have you. So one, I want to ask you guys, when type in the chat for me, how exactly do you make a buying decision? Right. So if you could think about kind of like the last several products or services that you purchased, I kind of want to know what was the buying decision process that you went through. So actually, let's stick with the service business, right? So who here has actually scouted for a service provider, whether it be like a home contractor, like a plumber, a landscaper, whether it's a lawyer? What was your buying decision? And actually, if you could just raise your hand, I could just line you guys up who kind of want to speak on this, because I want to have an open discussion, because I think it's really going to help you guys start to conceptualize how your ideal clients are thinking about making buying decisions as well. Right. So if you don't know how to raise your hand, I think if you go to, you hover over your name, there's a little hand raise that you can do. All right, Brianna. So let me know what was the last service you purchased, and how exactly did you go about making that buying decision?
So for me, it was similar to Shane. I didn't need to move, but it was a couple houses down, their house sold. And I was like, wait, our house is the same size. So let me see what it's like, what we can sell our house for. So I needed a realtor. I reached out to one person. They were kind of like hard to reach out to. So I simply went to my neighbor's house and used that same realtor that was in their yard. I didn't talk to my neighbor, but I just called her because she was available. It was sitting right there, and she ended up, selling the house in like 5 hours. So, and I just, when you said that, before I even raised my hand, I was like, you know what? I'm about to get on my own nerves, because, I simply made that decision because it was available. It was there and I saw it, which is why, and I've been slacking on social media, but every time I post on social media, I always get DMs and calendar requests. And then I just kind of like slack off. So, Okay, Krista, I get it. Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy that you said that, because I wanted to get you guys to come to this realization on your own. You know what I'm saying? So that's a really great point, Brianna. Thank you for bringing that up. So the first thing I want to do, ask you to go back one step, Brianna. You were saying that you originally contacted someone else. How did you find the first person that you contacted that didn't respond?
Honestly, I Googled, but to be quite honest, I really didn't know. I'm not from North Carolina. I live here, but I'm not from here. So I really didn't know anybody. So I just kind of, you know what? I actually went on, when I was looking to see what the house sold for, I Googled the address and Zillow popped up. Mm-hmm. And so Zillow said, hey, you want to know like what your cash offer would be? Mm-hmm. And then we'll have somebody reach out to you. So,
okay.
That's how it kind of went, but it just took too long, like that process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let me ask you something, Brianna. If I was a real estate agent in the North Carolina area and I reached out to you several days ago, it was like, hey, Brianna, the market is really tight right now. I'm not sure if you're looking to buy or sell, but if you are, we've sold over 30 million. We've helped over dozens of families, buy and sell in this area. And if you need any help, I would love to hop on a quick call with you to see how we can serve you. Would you have responded to a message like that at that point when you were like searching on Google and trying to find? Honestly, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So one of the things that I love that you said was you were like, you actually looked around to see, okay, well, who saw my neighbor's house? And you saw that person's name. And it was really the brand, right? It was just like the proximity of that person, of their marketing, of what they were doing was just right in your face. So you were like, okay, well, let me just call this person, right? It wasn't a whole lot of, I would say, due diligence on your part on that you went through. And that is so true. Like the person that has the recognition, the person, typically the last person that contacts a person that's ready to make a buying decision would typically get the sale. And that brings me to a story that I heard. I've told this story in this group several times, but there's a real estate agent that was selling a lot of property. He listed a multi-million-dollar property out in California. He lived in Southern California, but the home that he listed was in Northern California. So he wanted to partner with an agent in the Northern California area so he wouldn't have to commute back and forth. And so in Northern California, there was this really one predominant agent that was like posting on social media about all the homes that they were selling. You know, they were constantly posting, going live on videos, you know, going live, doing open houses. And this agent contacted that guy who he saw on social. And he was like, hey, I got this multi-million-dollar listing. Can we co-list together? And the guy was like, sure. Later that night, his best friend called him up and he was like, hey man, I just saw on the MLS that you co-listed this property here by my office. Why didn't you list with me? And his friend was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about you, right? I just saw this one guy who was always prominent, who's always in my face on social, and he just came first to mind. And so I use that scenario, I use that story just to kind of actually correlate to what Brianna said, is that sometimes even family, even friends, even people that are close to you, they might not think about you if you aren't actively promoting your services, if you aren't actively saying how you can help people. They are going to initially think about the person that is doing that or the company that is doing that. So what you guys want to do, you want to make sure that, you know, you stay top of mind, right? Because you can see how easy it is for even people closest to you to not even think about you on important decisions such as like who to refer, right? And how they can do business with you. So thank you, Brianna, for that. Thank you. So Angie, who is the last service provider that you hired and how did you make that buying decision?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, mine was not a home or anything. It was during the storm in Texas. You know, our plumbing got messed up. It was crazy here. And I was trying to find a plumber. And the plumbers were like, either they were too busy or they were overcharging, and they were severely overcharging. And it took my husband and I a while to even just find a plumber. And so finally, I was like, because I was going on, what was it? I went online. I went to Angie's something, the Angie listing or something like that, just to try to find somebody to help. And so finally, we called back the insurance company, and we actually just took whoever they suggested because that was just a hard thing trying to find a plumber during all of the mess that was going on. And nobody, and even if they did, everybody was severely overcharging.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out the damage that was done, it didn't even cost me a deductible. It was like a $200 fix.
Mm.
And these people were charging us $20,000 to fix it.
What?
Yes.
That's just terrible.
So, and I was like, no, we can't do that. I'm gonna try somebody else. I just had to keep trying
Right.
because of the price. I was like, no, this doesn't seem right.
Right. So your process was to look online, right? You looked online, you
Mhm.
looked on sites, and outside of the people that were busy, the other people were gouging. So you literally just had to go with what your insurance provider recommended,
Yes. Hmm.
right? So in that process, outside of, I guess, the price, how would you have made the decision? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did you actually go with the first call that you made? Like, had they been available and the price was reasonable, what was that first initial research or contact? Was it Google or was it something else?
Uh, Actually, I've used the it's not really Angie's list. It was another list, and it was like just
A thumbtack, maybe?
something like that. I think so,
Mhm.
because Angie's list, those people are a little pricey also. But this other list was a lot cheaper, and still provide the same work and quality work. And so that's why I was going there. And so, but after I saw the price, but normally I would go that direction because when we were selling our first home, we went that route and found somebody to come fix our fence, did the little
Yeah.
fix up. And so it was not a problem. And the
Right.
price wasn't a problem.
Right.
But so that's why I always went that route.
Right. Got you. Got you. So yeah, so one of, and thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your experience. One of the, kind of the I want to say mindset shifts that I had to have was just how I'm perceiving sales. And I think for a lot of us, we have been ingrained through movies, through, society, we have a very big misconception on what sales typically is, right? So when you guys hear the word sales, probably most of you have a negative connotation, or maybe you've experienced something that didn't feel good when it came to a sales. Has anyone gone through a situation that just was uncomfortable with sales, or you were like, you either felt manipulated, you felt like they were taking advantage of you, you felt like they were fast talking you? Anybody else felt like this? Just go ahead and give me a high five on the screen, okay? I think you can actually do that with the Zoom. You can give like high fives. So, and then you see movies like The Wolf of Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there you guys see, there you go. Eunice, Janetta got it. You guys got the emojis now. You see things like The Wolf of Wall Street, you know what I'm saying? Where they're like, talking slick, and, they're getting people to make these purchase decisions by manipulation, you know what I'm saying? And I think because we have such a ingrained misconception of what sales is, it actually is prohibiting a lot of you guys from taking action, from actually putting yourselves out there, because you are still thinking that I'm being salesy, I'm doing something unwanted. Where when you have people that are in the buying decision process, you actually reaching out to them and letting them know how you can help, you're actually saving the day. Like, can we agree? Like we heard from Brianna, like if I was a real estate agent and I was doing outreach, that message would have been welcomed from Brianna. She'd have been like, oh my God, yes, I'm looking for someone like you, because she was in a buying decision mode. Same thing with Angie. Angie just went through this disaster, right? Her piping was messed up. And so not only was she getting a runaround, but had I been the person to message her around that time, Angie, let me know if I'm right or wrong, would my message have been welcomed, or would you have felt like, beat it? You know what I'm saying? At that point in time when you were searching around, if I would have just slid in your DM to say, hey, Angie, our company is helping local Texas, the local Texas community with their plumbing. If you have any issues, we would love to come out, take a look, and give you a free estimate. Let me know if you need any services. Would that message have been welcome at that time?
Yes, it would have.
Would it?
That's really meant more.
Right. You would have been like, yes, Krista, come, please.
Come on.
And look at my plumbing, because it was a need. So I need you guys to put yourselves in that state of framing, to say there are people right now who are looking for your service, who need what you have to offer, and they don't know you, right? Because you're not showing up. You're not, it's like finding a needle through the haystack. So how I transitioned the mindset on that, I transitioned it from I'm going out and selling to people who don't want it, to I need to go find the people that are actually in pain right now, the people that are needing and wanting and desiring this product or service that I have to offer. Because there are people right now that need and want what I have to offer. So when you do that mind shift, now you're not being salesy, right? It's not sales. It's actually value. You're looking to see who can I provide value to, who's in that buying decision process that need help. They need their tax situation. They just got a letter from the IRS, or they need funds for their business, right? They need to know how to navigate their sales tax. They just got hit up with a huge tax bill from their current tax professional, and their current tax professional didn't explain to them why they owe what they owe. So now they're in pain. because they're like, I don't understand why I owe so much. My tax professional can't explain to me, or I feel like they're not responsive enough. I feel like they're not telling me how I should be making better decisions. There are people in pain right now that when you message them, your message is actually welcomed, because they're in that state of mind, they're in that buying decision. So I think, and I know for a fact that this mind shift, that if you guys allowed yourself to experience this mind shift and put yourself in that position to say, hey, if I'm a person that has tax issues, or if I'm a person that needs to file my taxes and I don't really know who to go with, putting yourself in that state of frame would actually, it should inspire you to want to reach out to people, to say, I need to find the people that are in pain. I need to find the people that I need to provide value to. And that's what I've done in my business, where I don't look at it like, oh, I need to sell some people today. No, I don't want to sell people. I want to find people who I can provide value and a quality service to, who I can help. So let me know, does that mind shift help you guys? Is that like you framing it that way, and you actually hearing real stories that when people are in a buying decision, a message is welcomed. It's actually wanted. It's like, yes, please tell me who out here can help me with this problem that I'm having. Who is the best at what I'm trying to do, right? And not only would you be coming to them trying to solve their problem, but you're going to be positioning yourself like, I'm one of the best to do this, right? And that's going to put you in a whole nother realm. Now, once this happens, let's just say I did that to Angie, and I provided a great experience for her. We were able to fix her pipes, charge her a couple $100. What's Angie going to do? She's going to refer her neighbors. She's going to refer her friends, her colleagues. She's going to tell people how she had this great experience because I reached out to her. I solved the painful problem, and it resulted in her getting the big result that she wanted. It was just some pipes that was working, right? So they could take a shower, so they could run their water, so they can cook their dinners, right? Same thing with Brianna. She was just looking for someone to sell her home, someone who picked up the phone, right? Like her level of, what is it called, guys? Her level of expectation was kind of low, right? She was just like, yo, if you pick up the phone and you show up, you're pretty much hired. So you can see how when you guys show up to say, hey, I'm the best at I'm the best person in this niche to help you solve this problem, you're coming way above their threshold, because right now they're just looking for anyone to solve their problem. Shane, you want to add to this?
Oh, I was high-fiving. You know I know how to work this thing.
Awesome. No worries. So I really felt really compelled to actually have this discussion today, because I feel like that post was a beautiful post, because I feel like a lot of people think like that. A lot of people are like, I don't want to reach out because I don't want to be salesy. And if we could switch the point of reference of that, you really understand that you're not being salesy, that you're actually just trying to find people that already want and need what you have to offer. And your messaging is going to be welcome to the people that it applies to. Yes. Are you guys going to get some no's? Yeah, you're going to find some people that they don't have the problem. They're not in a buying decision. They've already had it solved. But the people that you do find, they're going to think that you're heaven sent. I don't know how many messages that I receive where people are like, oh my God, I feel like Krista, I feel like it's fate, right? That you contacted me or that I found you. Like when people are in the phase of they have a problem that needs to be solved, and you come along as the expertise with the skills and the knowledge and the willingness to help them, people will literally think you're God sent. They're like, oh my God, I've been praying for somebody, or I've been looking for somebody, I've been having issues doing this. So what questions do you guys have about this part? How you guys feel about this?
I do have a thing on that. I guess my issue with that is that kind of some of the things that you've mentioned. I know I get a lot of, on LinkedIn especially, I get a lot of business owners in my inbox all day, every day. And they're barely even saying hello. They're sending me the paragraph of, their pitch on selling. And I know I'm annoyed by getting the overwhelming amount of response that way. So that's why I don't do that to other people, because I'm like, well, how many other people is also reaching out to them? But at the same time, everything that you just said makes sense, because it could be that one or two people that actually need my services or need my help, and I'm not reaching out to. So it's just like, I'm kind of like stuck in the middle of that, because I know how I feel when I'm on the receiving end of that. But then again, I'm grateful if I am looking for something and someone happens to land in my inbox.
Right. So so this is another reason why we wanted to make it as personalized as possible. You know what I'm saying? Like when I give you guys my outreach examples, like the first 10 seconds of the call is me connecting with that person. You know what I'm saying? And that's powerful, because as you see from experience, that people don't do that. People aren't taking the time out to say, oh, hey, Angie, I just see that you and your husband just celebrated an anniversary. Oh my God, you guys look absolutely amazing. Happy, XX anniversary. I wish you guys many, many more happy years. Anyway, Angie, my name is Krista, and I help local Texans get their piping together so they can go back to living a normal life. If you still need help getting any part of your construction done or contract jobs done within your home, I'll be happy to talk to you. Let me know if you'd be open for a quick chat. Now, again, if she's in a buying decision, if she's in that painful, I want to say, buying decision and being in pain is kind of like the same thing, or having a desire. So I could say they either have a pain problem that they're trying to solve, or a desire that they want fulfilled. This is important, because when people are in a state of mind where they want something and they need something, that message is going to hit 10 times more when you actually build a connection first. Like, she's going to be like, oh man, like she seems really nice, or she seems really cool. Like I'm not just coming out to say, hey, I can do this for you. Let's work together. It's like, hey, oh my God, congratulations. I'm super excited for you guys. Me and my husband just celebrated 15 years as well. And we survived quarantine together. He's still alive. Ha ha ha. Right. I could throw in a little joke and make it fun. But I want you guys to talk to these people like they're your friends. And that's how you also, you really stop selling, because you're like, hey, I just want to hit up my friend Janice. And I'm like, hey, Janice, oh my God, how's everything going out there with you guys in California? I see that you guys are ... Amazing work that you've been doing so far in the community. Anyway, Janice, listen, just wanted to quickly introduce myself, right? Brianna, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I was just gonna respond to Shane and say, like I actually listened to Krista with the voice note. So I don't even send like regular DMs anymore. I just hit them with the voice note, like especially my target audience, the beauty industry, they're really big on Instagram, right? So when I connect with them, they usually follow back, and then I just go through like some of their photos, comment. I may just wait like a day or two, and then I'll just slide in their DM with the comment like, oh my gosh, girl, those brows are everything. Before I introduce myself, I just want to say yada, yada, yada. Okay, now back to it. My name is Brianna. Just like kind of what Krista said. And I actually did that yesterday, because I just kind of been in a funk a little bit. Like I hit my first goal of 5K for the last 3 months, but I need to double that so I can leave my job by October, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me just go back through the program, listen to all the videos, and let me just do these voice notes because they work. So even just yesterday, I sent 3 voice notes, and they actually booked consultations like 5 minutes later. And I was like, okay, voice notes. Like, what am I doing? Why am I not doing this? What is wrong with me? What in my mind is stopping me from doing this? But I really think I didn't want to sound salesy. And even one of those voice notes, I reached out to somebody from last tax season. She didn't go with me because she felt like she can get cheaper. Well, guess what? I sent her an email throughout the year. I know she was interested in bookkeeping. She never responded, slid in her DMs the regular way, never responded. Sent her a voice note yesterday, and she was like, I'm so glad you contacted me. Do you have time on Monday at 2?
Boom.
So she responded to the voice note, but she didn't respond to the email or the regular, text through the DM. So I'm learning that voice notes really do work.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Brianna. I was actually reviewing a training that I did on YouTube called How to Have the Right Mindset. Have anybody watched that video? I did it last year on YouTube, How to Have the Right Mindset. And I was actually listening to it yesterday. And I looked at my daughter. I was like, you know what? Like, that's some good training right there. I was like, I was speaking facts, okay? All the way facts on that training. Because Brianna, you said something really great. You were just like, why am I not doing something that I know is going to benefit me, that I know is something that I need to do so that I can hit my goal? And that is one of the biggest things that I talked about in that video, was that I went through a year and a half of my life not doing this activity because I didn't have the confidence in myself. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel, I just didn't believe in myself at the end of the day. And that's really what it boils down to. It's like, either you don't feel worthy, you don't believe in yourself, you don't feel entitled. There's a limiting belief within yourself that feels like you really don't or can't have the things that you really want. Like, I'm not supposed to be making $10,000 a month. I'm not supposed to be able to walk away from my job comfortably. I'm not supposed to be, bringing in this money effortlessly, right? Like we build up these limiting beliefs about that we got to struggle before we make it. Who here has thought that too? That like, if things come too easy, it's something wrong with it. If things come a little bit too easy, something is wrong with it. So Brianna just did a few voice notes, and some people would be like, oh no, that was too easy. Oh no, now I'm scared. Some people actually start to pull back and be like, it's so many different layers of the limiting belief. They might be like, okay, well, now I actually got to deliver. Now I actually got to do the work. Now am I smart enough? Do I know enough? Do I know enough of taxes? Do I know enough of bookkeeping to provide a great service? Am I going to mess up on somebody's things? Like, there's so many layers to us that we've been ingraining over our adult life and our childhood that it took me a year and a half just to build up the confidence enough to reach out to one person. It took me a year and a half, guys, let me tell you, a year and a half of my life just to build up the confidence to reach out to one person. And the first person that I reached out to, it resulted in one of the biggest sales of my life. And I'm like, I sat there and I was like, I just wasted a year and a half of my life because I didn't feel adequate, because I didn't feel worthy, because I didn't feel smart enough. I didn't feel, like I had enough money. I didn't feel like I was in the right class. You know what I'm saying? So limiting beliefs definitely plays a factor in it too, Brianna, for sure. Thank you for mentioning that. Angie, did you want to say something? I feel like you were about to pop in.
Yes, I was going to say, back to what I was talking about earlier, is actually if someone would have actually contacted me and reached out to me, they probably would have gotten even more business from me, because the plumbing wasn't a big deal, because we got insurance that was going to pay for itself. But it was like some other things that I was like, well, since it's COVID, since things going on, I wanted to get somebody to come in and extend my patio. I wanted some work done. So if the right person would have contacted me, I probably would have just been like, oh, do this.
Exactly. It could have resulted in a big sale, into a big job for them, right? Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Rona says, how do you find the buyers? Hey, Rona, what do you mean by how do you find the buyers?
Yeah, I was, I'm kind of new to the calls. So I was going all the way back to when you were indicating, when you were basically indicating how to, I guess, find the people that need your services. I guess that now hearing the other stories, in your course, it kind of explains, I just started the beginning of your course. The whole course explains how to find those buyers. Okay.
Yes. So that's in module 6. But you need the other layers. Oh, and have you had a new member call yet?
I'm a returning person, so I had the new call, but it was a while ago, and I didn't do anything after that. So I definitely need to go back.
Yeah, in the program, it's in the first module to book a new member call, and we
Yes.
meet on Zoom on Monday, and we kind of just walk through step by step this whole process.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, but it is in
Okay.
module 6 too. But it helps when we could do it. When I can talk to you live.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, any other questions? Go ahead and just raise your hand on the little Zoom button. Go ahead and raise your hand if you have any questions or comments about this part so far. And how you guys feeling about this? Are you excited? It's like never before is it so exciting to just when I really realized that I had control of my life. It's such a liberating feeling to know that, like, for instance, Brianna, she started her outreach yesterday, already booked 3 appointments. That's such a liberating feeling to know that at any given moment, let's just say, Angie, like, you know what, honey, I think we want a pool. Okay, honey, give me 30 days. Let me go and do some outreach. And we go reach out to some people, and we about to make some extra money because we want this down payment for this pool. It's such a liberating feeling to know that you guys have control over your money. Like, when you want to make more money, all you have to do is really genuinely come up from a place of service and say, how can I find the people that need and want what I have to offer? And all you have to do is do the work. So one of the things that I have written on my notes here to talk about was sweat equity versus check equity, right? So before we get into that, let's go to Jeanette. I see her hand up.
Oh, I was trying to unmute myself. No, I was just gonna piggyback on that. Like when you said about the deposit. So my first quarter goal, I was like, hey, I just bought this new house right before Christmas. We need a fence. So my first quarter goal was like, hey, I want to make sure I cover all overhead. I don't want to spend any of my money from my paycheck, and I want to make sure that we get a fence. So I was like, okay, I made $5,000 something. I'm like, oh, I got a fence and extra. Let's get some patio furniture too.
Exactly.
So definitely having that control is amazing. It's amazing.
Exactly. Thank you for sharing that. So yeah, like when you guys have a skill set like that you have now, it's really just about, well, where's my people? Honestly, that's what you got to ask yourself. Who can I help today? And you come into it from not who can I sell to and manipulate and take advantage of today. It's like, no, who can I help? Who's in pain right now that I can help them? And you genuinely go on their page, like, okay, cool. She has kids. I see that she just moved. She's in a new state. She just started a new job. Awesome. Let me connect with her on that. You do your voice note. Hey, Angie, how you doing out there? I see that you guys just closed on your new home. It looks absolutely amazing. I'm super excited for you guys. Congratulations. And then going in to introduce yourself. One of the things that I had on my notes here was check equity versus sweat equity. Have anybody heard that phrase before? Check equity versus sweat equity. Just type a 1 in the chat if you've actually heard that phrase. Okay, only Angelica. Oh, and Janetta, you mastered the emojis on Zoom now. Okay, Robert.
I know you've been stressing it for a couple weeks. I'm like, let me get this little more bar.
Yes, I love it. So perfect. So Angelica, Robert, Janice heard it. So sweat equity versus check equity. So what does that mean? What it means is you can work for something, you can work your labor, right? So if I want to get more clients, I can do my voice notes. That's actually sweat equity. You know what I'm saying? I can do my outreach. I can do my live video, sweat equity. It's not costing me money to do these activities. They're free, which is another reason why I just love them, because you're so leveraged in your marketing that you are acquiring people and clients and referrals practically for free, right? Outside of just your time. So you can get far in life just with sweat equity, just working, right? Doing the activities. Then there's check equity. Check equity is, I'm about to pay this money to Facebook ads, I'm about to pay this money to market, to Google, to Lynda, to Thumbtack, to all these marketing platforms so they can send me leads, to Amazon, to Instagram ads. I'm going to shell out all this cash so they can send me leads. We eventually get you to a combination of both. Check equity is great. Check equity is great when you got the check, right? Check equity is great when you got the check, but also keeping in mind that you still have to monitor those costs, right? It's definitely going to be an expense coming out, and you have to understand like your cost to acquire a client. So, you know, you might have to pay $100 in a check to a platform for leads before you get your first paid client. You know what I'm saying? So check equity is not a guarantee where you spend money, you're going to get clients. And when you do get clients, you are racking up a cost to acquire that particular client. So for a lot of us, we don't have the checks to spend out to capture the mind share. We don't have all the checks to spend out to really have the brand recognition that we want right now. So we do it with sweat equity. And so that's what a huge thing that has been a contributor to my business is that I rarely pay for advertising, right? We've been able to grow to well over 7 figures without much of paid ads. And that's because I put in a lot of sweat equity. I put in a lot of outreach. I put in a lot of video marketing, right? To build up this body of work, to create this momentum. And you guys could do the exact same thing. Like there's people in this business of like coaching, consulting that are paying for leads, but I'm way more profitable, even though they might make more money than me, but they have a cost that is much higher than mine, where I'm actually acquiring clients for free. And that's something that is so invaluable. It's actually one of the strongest indications of a really great company when your marketing is very low, when you have kind of like this flywheel going on, where you can do an outreach, you can do a video, you can acquire clients, and then those clients will refer people who will refer people who refer people. You know what I'm saying? So in a minute, you just got this machine that's churning, right? So Shavis says, who can help? Hey, yes, Shavis. Yes. And that's how you want to just go after your clients. It's just, who can I help today? Who can I provide value with today? Okay. All right. So what questions do you guys have about the check versus the sweat? What questions do you guys have about that? And who got the check? Okay. Like type of 2 in the chat. If you like, Krista, I just want the check. I just want to pay my way to success.
Hi, Krista, it's Robert.
Hey, Robert.
My experience with sweat equity versus check equity is that sweat equity is more profitable than check equities. The reason I say that is because when you're trying to pay for marketing and things like that, you're taking yourself out of action. You're relying on somebody else to kind of bring you those customers. When you do sweat equity, you're in action of creating your own customer base and bringing those people in. And you actually do bring in more people in that way than you do having to rely on paying for somebody to bring you leads or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of been my experience with that.
Yeah, I agree. Shane says too. So Shane, you like, let me just throw some racks at this. She's like, I just want to throw some racks at this. Now, here's what you guys need to know about the check equity, right? To Shane's desire, right? She like, Krista, yo, let me give you 5K right now. So here's what you need to know. I used to want to just do check equity too. And those that heard my story, you know, like I've invested in billboards, radio, TV, I've done everything, right? And I would make money and I would push it right back out to advertising campaigns, and I will hope and pray that I would make my money back. That's pretty much how it went. I would do a billboard and I'd be like, oh, I hope and pray that 1,000 people see this and 1,000 new tax clients come my way, or 50 new bookkeeping clients come my way. And that didn't happen. And so what happened and what I really realized was, in order for check equity to really work, you need to understand your client. You need to understand what desires and pain points they have. You need to have a niche that you are specialized in. So we found that the people that eventually do go on to spend money on advertising, they are so much more successful with the check equity because they've done the sweat equity. They've actually talked to people on the phone. They built out their pipelines. They have an onboarding process, an offboarding process. They have workflows, right? Because when you do check equity, one, you want to be ready. when it do work out. And two, for it to work out, you need to make sure that you need to make sure that you're even getting your ideal client's attention, right? Because everybody's trying to throw money at it. Can we agree? Like everybody's just trying to like, yo, like, how can I just throw $1,000 at this? And, and Krista, we just get some leads in. Everybody will love to do that, right? Like how many can agree like that would be like the easy way to go? It's like, okay, I got $1,000, I got 5,000 or 10,000, whatever you got. Let me just throw this out, right? Which is why I did research, and over $30 billion is spent on marketing every year. 30 billion. Companies know this. Companies know that businesses are desperate for clients. And so they will sell you anything. And that's what would happen to me. I would get one salesman out the next to sell me a newsletter, to sell me some flyers, to sell me a TV commercial. Like people were selling me left and right and selling me the pipe dream that I was going to make it, that people are just going to come our way. But I was doing marketing in a way that was not attracting my ideal clients. It was not communicating the problems and pains that they had, right? And the marketing that I was doing was just getting lost in the sauce. And that's what happens with people with the check equity, is that they don't, when you don't have a strategy, you actually you're just a sea of other providers that are doing the exact same thing. So I would say as soon as you guys master the sweat equity, as soon as you master being able, if you can get someone on the phone, walk through a process, close them as a paid client, onboard them and offboard them at a high level, if you could do that consistently several times, you are then ready to put some money towards a strategic paid marketing strategy, right? Because now you have a process. But what a lot of people do, and what I did, I didn't have a process. I didn't have a script, right? The leads that I was getting, I didn't really know how to follow up with them. I didn't really know how to close. I wasn't priced appropriately. So when I was getting a job, I wasn't pricing right. And I was actually losing money on jobs, right? So all of these things have to be in place before you actually really start to go and do your paid ads, your check equity. All right, guys. So what questions do you guys have about this? Talk to me, talk to me. And let's open it up for some general questions. What questions do you guys have? If you do have a general question about your business, go ahead and raise your hand. What general question do you have about business, about your marketing, that I can support you with so we can get you supported? Go ahead and raise your hand. You guys cruising. You guys easy like Sunday morning today.
One question.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I haven't done any of the marketing. I don't even have a Facebook cover yet. I just haven't gotten there. So I guess, when I'm hearing the, the voice notes and the, different other strategies that you're pointing out, I guess for me, I feel like I can't do anything just yet because I don't even have the basic, which basic or step one is the Facebook cover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's like,
am I correct in my thinking, or?
Yeah, but honestly, like that's one of the funnest and easiest ones to do because you can outsource it to someone on Fiverr for like $10.
No, but I'm talking about, I have to take the photo. I mean, that part I can't outsource my face, right?
You say you can't outsource. So you don't have any photos?
I really don't. No, I really don't. And I actually was scheduled to have them done. Unfortunately, I got hit with COVID the month of April. So okay. I'm just coming out of being sick as I don't know what.
I'm so glad that you are healed and you sound well. I'm so glad. So everything is okay?
I'm fine. My son was caring for me and he got sick and we both were sick together. We had to send away the dog. We couldn't take care of him.
Yeah, well, I'm so happy that you.
But we're good. We're good. Yeah. We're good. So I think my thing is, for me, I can't do any of the other things because in my head, I process things in steps. So it's like, okay, that step, excuse me, Oh, yeah, that's me and my
Good,
cousin.
Janice, this picture is fine for right now. All you do is need to get your cover photo done. But this
Okay.
picture is cute. The only thing you need is your cover photo. And your cover photo doesn't have to, you don't have to put your photo on your cover photo. So like if I go to like Brittany, she doesn't have her picture on this, it's just a stock photo. So you could do something
Okay.
like this where you just have a stock photo. If
Uh-huh.
you do get a professional picture of yourself, you could do something like what Carissa did and have
Oh,
your
that's nice.
professional photo in the background, but this is not required. Like she don't even
Mhm.
have to have her face right there. Honestly, she could just have her branded cover photo and that's it. So yeah, go ahead and spend the $10 on Fiverr. And just get that done because your page, your selfie is fine right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got
All
it.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks the other Janice. You're right.
She said, can I outsource my face and subtract 20 years? You guys are hilarious. Janetta?
No, I was just gonna tell Janice I cheated. So I skipped steps and I outsourced. So I outsourced the cover photo. I didn't like it, so I made my own in Canva. And I did like Chris was saying, I just used the old picture and I paid like $25 for a logo. So I've been cheating and using my logo instead of professional pictures because I just haven't been motivated to take pictures yet. So I just cheated and used the picture that I already had.
Yep, perfect. So yeah, Janetta has a beautiful selfie and she has her cover photo. You said you created this in Canva?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. I just, I paid for the logo, but I mean, that was like $25. So I mean, if you don't want to take a selfie, you can still get it done. So that's still a check in the block you can do without the photos. Don't wait. I didn't take professional pictures and I still made like 10 grand first quarter. So don't cheat yourself.
So let me ask either one of you this question. So if I use my photo, does Fiverr do the background part, the Facebook cover?
Yeah. So I just literally, so that picture is at like one of my graduations and I just used the background remover in Canva. So it just looks like I'm posing there, but actually there's like flags and all kind of other stuff in the background there. I just removed the background.
Yeah, so you can go type in Facebook cover photo and you can find someone to do it for.
I had one of them kids that was on my picture.
Right, it's like $10, right? So they'll do it for you for $10. You also can go to Canva, like Janetta was saying, and just do it for free right here. Like you could just choose one of these, choose the Facebook template and create something very similar, just with your name, to say your niche, and then keep it moving and then start your outreach.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Krista?
Hey.
This is Angelica. So just so everyone knows, I invested in a camera and a tripod. And if you see my background picture there, I took it in my office at home on the tripod. And then I just removed the background on Canva and I put it on all. You can see all of my pages on Facebook and everything. I just paid $12 on Canva every month because I'm, I guess, a Canva Pro, because I use it so much, because I use it on posts and I do all kinds of stuff. But I just take like selfie pictures and I just put them on there. Like I actually just recently invested in a photographer and spent like $200 to have him take like professional pictures, but mostly it's just me.
Right. Beautiful selfie picture. Oh, wait, was this a selfie or was this a tripod?
Yeah, no, it was the tripod. I put the camera on the tripod and
but it's a perfect straight on shot. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, I think we just complicated a lot in our mind. Like we think we need all of these things in place.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is that we just need to take action and just get it done, So I know it's tough.
It is.
It's tough.
is. It is. Angelica, you don't have to be talking about me like that.
No, this is for everybody, you know.
No, I'm really sharing it for everybody because I had fears like that too. Like, I mean, for 13 years, I've been doing taxes for individuals. I had never done a business tax ever. I had never done bookkeeping. I had never done any of that until I started with Krista. And it really makes a difference because you have these clients that actually have a business and need bookkeeping. So you can actually upsell the people that you're working with already that you didn't even realize you could. So for me, it's been really just really life changing because it's an example of that, we're so fearful in our mind of trying to do something, but we overthink it. And instead, we should just stop thinking and actually just go and do it.
Mhm. Yeah.
And
Yes.
so, yeah, that's why I say that.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thanks for sharing. So Angie says, anybody know if anyone is accepting PPP loans? Hey, Angie. So I went to the SBA just now, and it looks like they're going back to the CDFIs, the small community development financial institutions and minority depository institutions until May 31st. 2021, or until remaining funds are exhausted. And I thought I read something that the funds were exhausted. Anyone else read that? That the funds were exhausted?
Yeah, they are.
I thought they were.
Okay, because I've been trying to get this person a PPP loan, and every time I put it through, they'll hold it, and then finally at the last minute say, denied, and then I'll try another one or fix what they said was wrong. And then when I went to do it again, their website went down. I'm like, really?
Yeah, so it looks like it says the Paycheck Protection SBA stops accepting new. So this is a Journal of Accountancy. They updated this last week that the SBA has stopped accepting new Paycheck Protection Program applications. So the people that already submitted their applications, they should still be processed. So your client should still be in the process. Did you get any notifications about where they're at with the process?
Yeah, well, that's what I said. They just told us that it was denied because they couldn't see the bank statement clear enough. And I'm like, well, just tell me. And so I went, did it and resend it. And when I went to go try to do that, because you have to reapply all the way through, when I went to do that, it blinked up, they're no longer accepting.
Okay. Well, I would definitely see if you can call, since your client was already in the pipeline before the funds ran out. I would try to get someone on the phone. Yeah, I would call the store.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Any other questions, guys, before we hop off for tonight? So my call to action would be to you guys. I know we have our live challenge this week, so I would love to see some more winners this week for our challenge, which is 2 live videos. You still have time to do 2 live videos this week. You can do one tonight, right? If you're feeling like a boss, okay? Or you could do 2 tomorrow, but try to get it done, right? It's a great way to kind of push you guys to put yourselves out there. So I would love to see these live videos. Tag me in your live videos, or even share it to the Facebook group so we all can watch your live video. Sounds good? All right, guys. Well, have a beautiful evening, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.
Thank you.